Welcome friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Ms. Geetu Singh from Sri Ram Swarup Memorial University, Lucknow. Today we will be discussing on the topic Organized Crime, Problem of Identification, Investigation and Procedure. The learning outcome of this module is to make the learners understand the meaning of organized crime, to make the learners understand the problem of identification of investigation of organized crime, to make the learners get acquainted with the international and national legislations for curbing the organized crime and its lacunas. To begin with, the most crucial and foremost task in imposing criminal liability is to establish whether a wrongful act constitutes a crime or not. This work of identifying a wrongful act as criminal is possible only if the kind of act committed constitutes a wrong or forms a part of any wrong defined in any penal law as crime or offence. Therefore, the definition of wrong is essential in criminal law. That is, a wrongful act to be a crime, it has to be defined in any legal provision. Otherwise, if it is difficult to impose criminal liability. Therefore, any discussion on the problem of identification, investigation and procedure of organized crime should necessarily begin with the definition of organized crime. The meaning of organized crime. Defining organized crime has to be proved to be a difficult task. Depending on the perspective of the legal profession, academia, government, commissions and other authors, organized crime has been differently defined, though some kind of similarities are found in the various definitions of organized crime, yet there is no consensus. The presently retired Deputy Director General of National Criminal Intelligence Service in the United Kingdom rightly puts it, organized crime is distinguished as a term in common daily use, behind which lies at least 4 decades of allied attempts to arrive at a single definition. The Omnibus Crime Control Safe Street Act 1968 provides a definition of organized crime as follows. Organized crime means the unlawful activities of member of highly organized disciplined association engaged in supplying illegal goods and services, including but not limited to gambling, prostitution, loan sharing, narcotics, labor, racketing and other activities of member organizations. The US Task Force report of 1967 describes organized crime as a society that seeks to operate outside the control of American people and their government. It involves thousands of criminals working within the structure such as complex and those of large corporation, subject to laws more tightly enforced than those of legitimate governments. Its actions are not impulsive, but the result of intricate conspiracy carried on over whole fields of activity in order to arrive huge profit. The Racketing, Influenced and Corrupt Organization Statute describes acts of organized crime as acquiring or receiving form of pattern for or racketing through a criminal enterprise. Organized crime has been described as a continuing conspiracy with an organized structure that is successful because of its use of fear, corruption and violence in Federal Bureau of Investigation. In India, there is no specific central legislation with respect to organized crime. Few states have made their respective legislations which provides definition of organized crime. For example, Section 2E of the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act 1999 defines organized crime as any continuing unlawful activity by an individual singly or jointly, either as a member of an organized crime syndicate or on behalf of such syndicate by use of violence or threat or violence or intimidation or coercion or other unlawful means within the object of gaining primary benefits or gaining undue economic or other advantages for himself or any other person promoting insurgency. The Act further elaborates on the groups of organized crime through Section 2F, which provides the meaning of the term organized crime syndicate as a group of 2 or more persons who acting either singly or collectively as a syndicate of gang indulge in activities of organized crime. On analysis of various definitions of organized crime, one may focus on the organized crime in two ways. One, as a set of activity executed by an organization for a benefit or profit which is illegal or criminal in nature. The term organization, which refers to the structure of the chain of events or an interaction process in which different individuals and groups participate in different ways at different stages, is what differentiates organized crime with any other crime such as rape, murder, theft, etc. The definitional dilemma was to facilitate different agencies to call organized crime with different names. For instance, few types of commercial or economic crimes like insider trading or fraud involving two or more individuals are also called as economic crime or white collar crime or enterprise crime. On occasion when such wrongs are committed outside the border of a country or between countries, it is also labeled as international crime. Adding further to the confusion state is the term transnational crime, generally used when fraudulent activities flow over national boundaries. The other discourse of organized crime is as a set of actors. The set of actors is discussed under two main folds, that is corporate model and the network model. The corporate model is a more formal structural organization, whereas the corporate model is informal. The corporate model is highly centralized and based on hierarchical corporate structure, in comparison to the network model, which is not based on long-term relations. The long time commitment and sacrifice is absent in network model of organized crime, which provides the individual criminal illegal entrepreneur the freedom to join new partners as is when they get an opportunity, thereby enhancing their profit. The corporate or hierarchical model is less flexible and easily traceable by law enforcement agencies. Organized crime is more a concept than a legal term. It has been argued by Robert Merton that creating a concept is not a passive neutral act, but rather an act with a real consequences. Therefore, it means that the concept of organized crime and all that falls within it is better identified by certain characteristics. This view has further been supported by the 1986 President's Commission on Organized Crime of USA, which argued that for a proper working of identification of organized crime, it must contain characteristics of both the activities and the group. Some of the basic characteristics of organized crime as found in the reports of US government and European task force committees, commissions and variety of organizations are as follows. Has non-identical motives, exhibits community over long period of time, perpetual in nature, uses tactical and strategic or long-term planning to reach the goal of organized crime, governed by rules and codes of secrecy, seeks to monopolize products and services, has an organized hierarchy, uses force and intimidation, restricts membership, provides illegal goods and services as demanded by the public, obtains enormous profit for criminal means, employs corruption for immunity and control, creates a division of labor with job specialization, engages in money laundering, investment profits in legal enterprises and seeks to control these businesses, exhibits an ability to adapt to the changes in supply and demand, law enforcement and competition, operates internationally, engages in more than one illicit activities, uses legal businesses as fronts for illegal activity. The Nepalese Political Declaration and Global Action Plan 16 lists the following 6 characteristics of organized crime: group organization to commit crime, hierarchical links of personal relation which enable leaders to control the group, the use of violence, intimidation and corruption to earn profit or control territories or market, the laundering of illicit proceeds to further criminal activity and to infiltrate the legitimate economy, a potential for expansion into any new activity beyond national borders and cooperation with other organized transnational criminal groups. Organized crime can thus be described as a form of economic commerce which uses threats, physical force and violence, extortion, intimidation or corruption as well as supplying illicit goods and services. There is a lot of debate about what organized crime is. There are various kinds of organized crime, viz. Illicit traffic in narcotic drugs or psychotropic substance and money laundering, traffic in persons, counterfeiting currencies, illicit traffic in or theft of cultural objects, theft of nuclear materials, the misuse or threat of its misuse to harm the public, terrorist acts, illicit traffic in or theft of arms and explosive materials or devices, theft, traffic in or the theft of motor vehicles, corruption of public officials, etc. The varied kind of organized crime and the definition makes the identification, investigation and procedure to combat organized crime a hair-splitting task. Identification, problem of organized crime. Definitions are crucial as they provide information for the effective laws, investigation and prosecution. As organized crime is differently defined, the criteria of identifying, classifying an organization or group as organized crime group differ not only between jurisdiction but also between agencies, states and countries. Some countries have not defined organized crime. In order to have measures against organized crime, there has to be a clear and lucid understanding of what is organized crime and how it functions. Lack of comprehensive definition results in difference in world perception of organized crime. If investigations are conducted outside a country, knowing the other country's legal and academic definition of organized crime is essential. The definitional confusion poses a problem in identification of organized crime. Organized crime is generally crime committed through institutions or organizations or even known as enterprise crime. This makes it a tough task to differentiate crime on legitimate, illegitimate dichotomy of business activities, confounding the definitional predicament even more. To fight out the varied morphiforms of organized crime, which is transforming itself into local, global continuum, needs a fresh mode of thinking like new conceptualizing, invention, innovation and bold experiment. The primation of most organized crime with illicit dichotomy is another threat and creates hardships in identification and investigation. The profit acquired from sale of illegal goods and service is invested in lawful business, viz. Restaurants, import-export business, labor unions or racetracks. There is a good scope of felicitation from corporate giants, corrupt politicians and civil servants, making it more difficult to find out whether wrong committed is organized crime or not. It is therefore apparent that there is no exact or particular method of describing the practice of organized crime. It forms the part of one or more type of organized crime of criminal group. The multifaceted group and changing nature of crime creates difficulty in generalization. The definition of organized crime at the national, regional or international level needs to be flexible to include varieties of criminal organization and their purview within its purview. The investigation and procedure of organized crime, international and national perspective. Model of legislative provision against organized crime. In response to the request by the General Assembly to the Secretary General to promote and assist the efforts of the member states and implement the United Nations Convention against transnational organized crime and the protocols thereto, the model legislative provision against organized crimes were developed. The model legislative provision acts as a felicitation to review and amend the existing laws and in the adoption of new legislations by member states. As per the needs of legal traditions and social, economic, cultural and geographical condition, the model legislative provisions can be adopted by member states. Chapter 4 of the model provides provisions for the facilitation of organized crime. It addresses two issues which are separate yet overlapping. Special investigation techniques, which are techniques for gathering information applied by the law enforcement officials for detecting and investigating crime and suspect without giving any chance to target persons of being alert. Informal technique is based on the cooperation between a law enforcement agency. The provision of this chapter intends to provide the legislative basis of special investigative techniques, both domestically and as part of international cooperation. There are various discrete special investigative techniques. The present model legislative provision focuses only on those special noted in the Council of Europe recommendation on special investigation technique with respect to certain serious crimes including acts of terrorism, controlled deliveries, undercover operation involving the use of assumed identities and electronic surveillance. For each form of special investigative technique, drafters are required to consider the following issues. First, the mechanism for approving the technique. Second, threshold for the grant of approval. Third, condition on the use of technique. Fourth, extent to which officers use special investigative techniques are protected from civil and criminal liability. And fifth, use of evidence obtained through that technique. The sixth, extent to which that information can be disseminated. Seventh, supervision, review and oversight mechanism. 8, international cooperation. Article 13 of the model legislative provision provides how the control delivery system of investigation should be conducted. Control delivery for this purpose shall mean the technique of allowing illicit or suspect consignment, cash or transaction to pass within, out of, through or into the territory of, within the knowledge and under the supervision of, with a view to investigate and the identification of persons involved in that offence that this model legislative provisions apply to. Control delivery is particularly useful in those cases where contraband is identified or intercepted in transit and then delivered under surveillance to identify the intended recipient or to monitor its subsequent distribution throughout a criminal organization. Article 14 provides the legal provisions of how a law enforcement officer may apply to acquire or use an assumed identity for the purpose of investigating any offence covered by these model legislative provisions. There are also provisions for request of assistance from persons to acquire evidence. Article 15 of this model provides the mechanism of filtration. Infiltration for the provision of this module consists of surveillance of persons suspected of committing offences covered by these model legislative provisions, carried out by specialized designated officers acting as participants to those offences. To that end, designated officers are authorized to use an assumed identity. They cannot act in any way that instigates the commission of offence. Electronic surveillance is a form of investigation which includes the monitoring, interception, copying or manipulating of messages or signals transmitted by electronic means. The model legislative provision against organized crime makes it permissible by authorization procured in accordance with the provisions of this module. This draft article encourages the use of two levels of scrutiny of use of electronic surveillance. This first level involves reporting to an oversight body tasked with the security of use of these techniques. Reports provided to this body can go into detail about the operation, and the oversight body then makes its own independent assessment of whether proper processes are being followed. The second level involves a more general reporting functions to the Parliament about the number of warrants sought and granted without providing any information about methods and sources. In pursuant to the globalized nature of organized crime, Article 17 of this model suggests that the function of the law enforcement government authorities include assisting and cooperating consistent with domestic legal and administrative system with foreign law enforcement agencies and competent international and regional organization to prevent identity and combat offence to which these model legislative provisions apply. The model legislative provision also provides for joint investigation in its Article 18, where it suggests for making arrangements by the national law enforcement authorities with relevant international and regional organization with respect to establishing a joint investigation body and entering into agreements in relation to the prevention, investigation and prosecution of judicial proceedings for offences to which these model legislative provisions may apply. Also be entered into a foreign law enforcement authorities and relevant international and regional organization. In accordance with the provisions of Article 19 of the Model Legislative Provisions, where the appropriate states involved have an agreement covering conferral of powers in joint investigation, the power to receive information and take statement in accordance with the law of the state, provided this is not prohibited by law, to lay charges, record charges in the official record, including in a form required by their national law, provided this is not prohibited by the law, and the authority to undertake surveillance and or undercover operation. Infiltration may be conferred on officials from foreign law enforcement agencies. National Initiative for Investigation of Organized Crime. India does not have a comprehensive central legislation to control organized crime in all its variants, form and manifestation. The Prevention of Terrorists Act, which was introduced in 2002, has been applied in case of crime committed by a group who may be connected to the terrorist group. The National Investigation Act 2008 provides a wider role for Indian police services. However, pursuant to the shooting of popular music and film producer Gulshan Kumar in the year 1997, which was presumed to be committed by organized crime group, the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act 1999 was enacted. This act was introduced to curb the expansion of organized crime group, which was setting its foot in India's commercial capital, Mumbai. The reason behind the enactment of MOCA was the inadequacy of the existing measures for the suppression of the organized crime. The Act provided provisions for the establishment of special courts, which would administer the stringent and deterrent provisions of this Act. Section 14(1) of this Act provides that a police officer not below the rank of Superintendent of Police who is supervising the investigation of an organized crime under this Act may submit an application in writing to the competent authority for an order authorizing or approving the interception of wire, electronic or oral communication by the investigating officer when such interception may provide or has provided evidence or any offence involving an organized crime. Section 14 subclause 2 of this Act illustrate the things which should be mentioned in the application seeking interception of wire, electronic or oral communication by the investigating officer. Section 14 subclause 7 of this Act holds that the order may direct a provider of wire or electronic communication service, landlord, custodian of other persons shall furnish to the applicant forthwith all information, facilities and technical assistance necessary to accomplish the interception unobstructively and with a minimum of interference with the service that such service provider, landlord, custodian of person is providing to those persons whose communications are intercepted. The contents of any wire, electronic or oral communication intercepted by any means authorized by this section shall, if possible, be recorded or taped or wired or other comparative devices. The provision of this Act further provides that the evidence collected through the interception of wire, electronic or oral communication shall be admissible as evidence against the accused in the court during the trial of a case. The admissibility of these recordings as evidence is subject to the limitation that each party has been furnished with a copy of the order under which the interception was authorized or approved within 10 days. This 10-day period may be waived by the judge trying the matter on other conditions mentioned in the Act. Section 23 of this Act provides that the information about the commission of an offence of organized crime shall not be recorded by a police officer without the prior approval of the police officer not below the rank of Deputy Inspector General of Police with respect to the investigation of offence of organized crime. This provision does not allow an investigation to be carried out by a police officer below the rank of Deputy Superintendent of Police. This provision further holds that no special court shall take cognizance of an offence under this Act without the previous sanction of the police officer not below the rank of Additional Director General of Police. In the line with MOCA, many other states like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh have passed laws to curb the menace of organized crime. Though the Indian Parliament has legislated a number of laws for the prevention and identification of organized crime like the IPC, the POTA, the TADA, yet the law is not fulfilling its objectives. To conclude, it can be said that the absence of a central legislation from the Indian government and the limited capacity of the Indian police is a major problem in curbing organized crime. The essential requirement is to reform the police services and development of courts and anti-corruption regime. Capacity building training programs should be there, strengthening of mutual legal assistance and other recommendation measures is to be developed for dealing with the problems of organized crime. It is therefore apparent that the organized crime has to be brought under the full control of a central legislation for proper identification, investigation and procedure. Taking a serious note on organized crime, as published in the Times of India of December 9, 2015, the Supreme Court of India had also set a deadline of December 1, 2016 for the centre to set up an investigating agency which would exclusively deal with human trafficking cases which is not yet seen. Thank you.